So who talks first? You talk first?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Who Talks First. I am CT.
And I am Solo.
I was very, very enthusiastic about that intro, and I'm kind of afraid to be clipped already, and it's been like 3 seconds.
Well, stop being such a screw-up.
We're just super enthusiastic because we just got back from seeing...
The Lego movie!
Woo!
Lego Batman movie, I should say.
Yeah, the Lego movie came out
A long time
ago.
ago. But we're a little late on the ball with Lego Batman, but that's just because, well, one...
It just came out this past weekend, though, right?
But most people see it like opening night. But
I don't like
when you
movie
work
theaters.
retail, and then when you also hate the general human population for eating popcorn as loudly as they do, you sometimes have to see movies later.
But we saw it, there was only like probably 8 other people in our theater.
Which is awesome.
And in the swaggest movie theater I think I've ever been in.
Yeah, we got to be in one of the Dolby surround sound theaters, which lets you recline the chairs and stuff.
And there was like glass partitions between each row of seats.
Yep.
It was, I want to see Star Wars there.
Yep.
Even though I have a feeling it's going to be impossible to get tickets, but I want to try to like rent out an entire row. And
Should you rent out a row or should you rent out like a box around us?
But that whole front row.
I mean, it's
It'd be pretty
amazing,
swag.
but like if they're far enough down, I feel like you're not going to hear them, but if they're still directly behind you, I feel
That's true. I'm just thinking for like friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get
That's
you.
more what I'm thinking there. But it was very, very cool movie theater setup, but we should probably talk about the actual film.
Let's talk about the film, because I got emotional. I cried a lot during the movie.
Dude, it was so good.
It was so good. It was everything that it needed to be and made fun of all the bad things about Batman movies. And I love that.
It was, and there was like the one thing about it, like spoilers for the Batman movie. If you
guys haven't seen it, leave. I mean, this is a given for every one of our podcasts. If you don't want to get spoiled, don't listen to us review a movie.
And this is going to be a fairly short...
I'm just saying.
Yep. This is going to be a fairly short podcast today, too, because there's nothing to really speculate or, like,
right.
discuss about it. This is just going to be our...
This isn't a plot-heavy movie. I don't know if you guys knew.
It was very plot-heavy. What are you talking about? But going into this movie, there was actually a little part of me that wasn't very excited because I hate Barbara Bruce as a ship.
It's disgusting.
I hate it. And I knew from the trailers is that was the direction we were going to go. And obviously Barbara's older, and
there's a lot of things to make you worry about that. The way that they put in commercials, they like have the whole commercial, which the line wasn't even in the movie, where she was like, "This is a good day," and he was like, "I wouldn't call it a date," and she was like, "I didn't say date."
Oh yeah, that wasn't in the movie.
He didn't. I was like, "Oh, cool."
I think maybe they figured out later. Well, obviously they may have been making this at the same time as The Killing Joke, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go with the new DC. We'll do Barbara Bruce," and then they realized everyone hates that. I'm sorry for the 3 people who are like, Barbara Bruce is my OTP. Sorry, but bleh. And maybe they kind of
then they were like, this is the thing that we hate about Batman, so let's get rid of it.
Because though it wasn't there, they had the couple things like Bruce obviously he thinks Barbara's the cute girl. Right. He obviously has like kind of a crush on her, and
they can't hear it.
I can hear it, so I feel like...
Oh my god. Could you guys hear me playing with a rubber band?
I'm taking away the stuff that you're flicking around.
Oh my god.
Just in case, man.
Fine. Anyway.
Something about Barbara and Bruce.
Of course they're gonna go that way, because Lego Batman is, like... He's hilarious, so he's gonna be that, like, over-exaggeration of Bruce's personalities, where one of them is the Playboy personality. Mm-hmm. So, of course, he's gonna be like, "Oh, Barbara is so pretty."
And it's him dealing with finding all sorts of relationships, like him accepting Alfred as his father figure, him accepting Dick Grayson as his son, and him accepting Barbara as a platonic friend.
A platonic coworker! And it's just platonic. I'm like, thank you for specifying that.
Yeah, that was the line at the end of the film where... Again, I think if they make a second one, they'll probably, I don't know. I'm hoping that they're going to take their own hints, because I feel like they did dial it back a lot from what they were promoting. And later, maybe in cuts, they were like, maybe this wasn't our smartest decision because no one likes Barbara Bruce. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they can just be friends.
Because they were like, oh, it's creepy. Especially, I mean... Let's talk about when Bruce shows up with Robin, and she's like, "Is that your son?" And he's like, "No." And then she's like, "It's creepier if it's not your son." He's like, "Oh, well, yes, then he is."
He is.
Like, yes, it would be the same thing with Barbara because she's too young, even though she's
definitely aged up.
Yeah,
like in this universe,
Yeah.
she is a
she
full
should be,
adult.
like, Dick's age, and she's not. Which is weird. Especially when they were like, she cleaned up Bloodhaven with statistics. And I'm like, you mean Nightwing City? Like, okay. Like, Oracle and Dick definitely work together in Bloodhaven, but I'm like, that's known for being Dick Grayson's city. That's the city he goes to when he's like, Bruce won't accept me, and I don't like the things that he wants me to do, and I'm gonna go be my own man and have my own city to take care of.
Bloodhaven.
Bloodhaven.
But now it's Barbara City. She took over, which is fine. Again,
it's fine.
They're just
Different
like
canons.
Again, different canon, so different universe. So it is acceptable. Just like my things that I like about Batman and the Bat fam in general.
Yeah.
Like, gross. I don't like Barbara Bruce.
Yep.
Just like Killing Joke really drove that in the ground. Now anytime I see it anywhere else,
Hashtag triggered.
I can't handle it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they really, really dialed it back. It was not as big as I thought it was going to be. That literally is my, I think, one critique of the film. And I won't even say this is a critique. It just, because there's sequel potential. There's probably going to make another one, especially if this does well.
Which it has been.
It's been doing very well. The way that they set up the timeline is it's going to be very hard to bring in the other Batman characters, like the Bat family characters.
The other Robins and the other Batgirls.
So what we were kind of hoping, like maybe the next one, is that they would bring in Jason, and this...
Because it would be super cute to
If,
have, like,
angsty.
a Robin, an angsty Robin shows up, and Dick's like, hi, we have a brother, now we're gonna be brothers! And Jason's like, you're really lame. And then Bruce is like, oh my god, he sounds just like me! And then...
It would be really cute.
It'd be cute. And then Dick's like, but now I'm lonely.
Now I'm alone.
Are you guys gonna go off and be edgy together?
I think that'd be a good plot for a sequel.
I mean,
we'll probably never see Cassandra or Stephanie or Damien. I'm sorry.
We'll never see Damien. He's too young. I don't think we'll ever get it. Like, unless they literally, like, jump to the future where they had Batman jump through timelines, I don't think we'll ever see. Especially, like...
With the way they set up his relationship with Dick Grayson, too, I don't think they would bring...
Especially Talia and Raish weren't even in the movie.
No, that actually kind of surprised me.
Because they had, like, everybody. And then I was like, the All Ghouls aren't here!
I was actually kind of surprised about that. I'm not sure, I thought maybe I missed it, because during one of the introductions of the villains, I was looking up voice actors on my phone, I apologize.
But the All Ghouls were not there.
I was very distracted, because there were so many people from Bob's Burgers.
Yes.
Fun fact about me, I like two things in this world, and it's Star Wars and Bob's Burgers. And, like, every 3 seconds, someone would talk, like, they're in Bob's Burgers somewhere.
Who's that from Bob's Burgers? But
And the Joker is Zach Galifianakis, which, again, I didn't recognize him as Zach Galifianakis. I'm like, I think that's Felix Fischoeder from Bob's Burgers, and it was. And then Jenny Slate, who's Tammy on Bob's Burgers, is Harley.
Yes.
Some good Bob's Burgers crossover. Then I had to look it up so many times because there's lots of very famous. And Ellie Kemping is Phyllis. She's the Brick. But I was very distracted for a chunk of the movie trying to figure out who the different actors were.
Which is one complaint that I have about these movies coming out. Is I'm like, how about you let voice actors do voices and let normal actors normally act? Like,
well, yeah, voice acting is actually a much different genre. And
like,
I'm not
they do
saying
fine.
They do a fine job.
But it's also, for me, it is a bit distracting when you keep seeing, I don't know.
Especially when you keep recognizing voices, and you're like me, and you're like, alright, I can't remember who it is. And they're kind of low-key, and you didn't know beforehand. I mean, Will Arnett was obviously...
I mean, he's perfect. I love his little Batman voice, and it's hilarious that he's the most loved Batman.
Loved Batman
besides, like, 1990s Batman, whose name, he's escaping me. Like the Batman the Animated Series one, Steve, I think it's like, I want to say his initials are SC, but I could be...
Steve Carell.
No.
South Carolina.
Yep, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
But the guy who does the voice acting for the Batman in the Animated Series Batman. He also did the voice for Batman in The Killing Joke, unfortunately. But he's the Batman to Mark Hamill's Joker.
Man, why didn't they get Mark Hamill, man?
Because Mark Hamill is trying to not hoard all the Joker roles.
He should, man. Except for, I think Zach Galifianakis did a fine job, especially how the way they portrayed this Joker.
Oh yeah, I don't like the Joker.
I am going to take away all rubber bands from
Why?
you. Just stop it.
I wasn't even snapping it.
Just stop fidgeting with things.
Oh my god! You act like you're my mom!
Well, the snapping's bugging me.
Oh my god. There's been one on my pinky this whole time. There.
And also, those are my rubber bands. I need those. I sleep in those. I do, actually. Those are the rubber bands I do my hair with.
You're crazy.
I know.
Anyway, I don't like the Joker, but I thought this Joker was really... His animation style was super fun. Every time that he did something weird where, like, his head turned backwards, and he was, like, crawling around, I liked his coattails being super long, I really liked his animation.
His animation was super fun.
I thought he was
and they super played up. I love that. At the very end, they're like, Batman is always a love story between Joker and Batman. Always.
It is. Every single Batman movie, every single Batman story, even if he's with someone else, it always comes down to the Joker and Batman being in love. I love the shade that the Lego Batman movie throws all the time.
They threw it everywhere, which was hilarious. With so many of the villains, when, like, the pointless villains, like, who was it?
Condiment Man?
Condiment Man.
Is that who you're talking about?
No, there was one villain that literally, like, he did one little thing, and he was just so excited. He's like, I actually did something!
Oh, Killer Croc!
Killer Croc, that's who it was, okay.
I did something. Because he pushed the button. He set up the bomb.
He was so proud of himself.
He was.
I was proud of him, too. And then Alfred. I think Alfred and Robin were probably my
best.
favorites.
I mean, Robin's always the best. Let's be real. We know that I have my...
in that one, like, 3-second stint that I was like, is Alfred actually going to die? I was going to walk out of that theater. I was so thankful, because usually you're like, no, Barbara's going to save her. I'm like, okay, thank God, because that was true.
I was like, there's no way they're going to kill off Alfred. First of all, terrible writing. Because that would be what would happen in a Batman movie, so it's not going to happen in Lego Batman. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And something that just...
They're going to show the tropes, and then they're going to be like, but we're not going to do that, because that's stupid! And you're like, yeah!
And I think it happened to adorable Alfred. He was so... Alfred's best in that movie.
I mean, Alfred is always so good.
And it was kind of funny that they got Ray Fiennes to voice... Alfred, but then Voldemort is actually a pretty big character in this movie, and he didn't voice Voldemort.
Nope.
But they got him for Alfred. So I wonder if that's like a joke or if it's a contractual thing. Mm-hmm. It is all WB, so I wonder. But
it's very curious.
There are companies that are like, you can't play
anything outside of the canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Like there was for a while, which is why I could be making this up. This is just a rumor that I heard. I didn't hear this from a canon source. Is that you can't play more than one
character in a
universe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is why Bucky had to leave Once Upon a Time, because Bucky was in Once Upon a Time and they had to write him out.
Like the actor who plays Bucky Barnes?
Yes.
Oh, but are those universes together?
But I'm not sure if they're like, maybe the Marvel universe could be in there somewhere, but that is why originally I had read an article why they had written him out, because it messed with his contract, and in some Disney you could not play, like, and maybe even just under the Disney branch you couldn't play two iconic characters.
Maybe. That's weird though.
It is strange. Well, I mean, they got no, that was DC, because Hal Jordan and because
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
that's different.
But he also played, but that's Marvel, so they may have different rules, because, well, I guess he's played Deadpool no matter what, but it was just in a different universe.
Yeah. I mean, and with Deadpool, they can get around that because Deadpool's
such a cracky character.
Because he breaks the fourth wall all the time.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Because he even makes mention to, like, no green suits, stuff like that. Don't CG me, stuff like that. And you're like, that's hilarious.
That is absolutely aces. So, I mean, great film. Absolutely fantastic.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I love simple things like Harley Quinn having roller skates. Finally. Because you keep putting her in roller derby outfits, but then you never give her roller skates. And it's so fun and quirky. Good job. Giving her something simple like roller skates so she's, like, sliding around all the time. It fits with her character, it's cute, and it makes sense for her outfit.
Definitely makes sense. And they're like the whole big cast of villains, so they go into the what they call the Phantom Realm?
The Phantom Zone.
Phantom Zone, where basically the bad guys go. And I'm actually, I'm going to mention a few things I'm surprised. I thought they were going to break the world again, like they did in the original Lego movie. I thought there was going to be some part.
Where they come out?
Well, where humans are come out, or you find out that it's just like a kid playing with toys. Especially when they talk about how Gotham breaks in half.
Yeah.
And it just drops to nothing. And I'm like, oh, well, it's going to be the table that they play on.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like one of those card tables that like fold in half or something. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I was kind of expecting to happen when the city was breaking apart. But I mean, I'm fine with it. Not every Lego movie not breaking
to that wall.
I'm totally okay with that. And well, now I'm kind of curious. Is the Lego movie canon in this universe?
Yeah, it must be, because first of all, I talked about the master builders all the time.
All right, did they?
Well, yeah. Like, Batman was constantly like, I'm gonna teach you how to master build.
All right.
Or, computer, run master build protocol. And,
all right.
Like, anytime that they were building something.
I did miss that.
Oh, yeah. When Batman teaches Robin how to, like, build the little, like, skateboard thing that he's on, he's like, I'm gonna teach you something about master building. And then when he first builds the Scuttler, he's like, computer, run master build protocol. And she's like, I suggest the Scuttler. And that's when he's going, like, and he's naming off the pieces as he's building.
Oh, I see.
And when they show that the world falls into nothingness, I am 90% certain that they just show Emmett falling with the piece of resistance.
Oh, the crackle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was thinking that he was going to mention Wild Style?
Yeah.
Wild Style?
Wild Style.
Once, because they dated. So I'm like, does this
dated.
take place before or after the Lego movie? I don't know. I mean, not that that's an actual complaint, because it's not. I am, even though I get it, but only because in the original Lego movie they were able to use Star Wars characters, because Han, Chewie, and Lando were in the original Star Wars or Lego movie. So I was so hoping when they were getting the villains that Palpatine was going to be there, or Vader
or something.
But I'm like, maybe not Vader, because Vader is technically redeemed himself, and Palpatine's just like lightning. You put the lightning guys everywhere. But they stuck pretty clear with just using Warner Brothers properties.
Yeah, most of them. Like, there are a few that we're not sure about, because, like, Lord of the Rings, I don't know who owns it.
Yeah, someone owns that. And then, who was it, The Matrix? I've never seen The Matrix. I apologize. Those are Matrix guys?
Yeah, those were Matrix guys. And then The Wizard of Oz is a Lionsgate property, for sure, right?
Yeah. Well,
because I can see the lion roaring in the beginning. Is that Lionsgate, or is that...
Well, I'm not sure that lion roaring is necessarily Wizard of Oz. I think it's just a lion.
No, because they had the Wicked Witch and the Flying Monkeys.
Well, no, the Lionsgate lion. I don't think that lion is like a Wizard of Oz lion. I think it's just a roaring lion.
No, that's a studio symbol. Yeah. Is that lion coming out and roaring?
But is that because of Wizard of Oz?
No.
Then
that was just the classic symbol of in front of a bunch of movies for that studio.
Oh, but you're remembering that in front of Wizard of Oz.
Yes, I remember that in front of it.
All right.
I can see it. Now. Like, I can see that, but I don't remember if that is, like, Lionsgate or, like, maybe it was the old Fox symbol or something.
Yeah, I
can't remember what studio that belongs to.
I don't really know either.
But I feel like it's a Warner Brothers property.
I've seen stuff, like, in Universal, when you go into, like, their Hall of Movie stuff, they have Wizard of Oz things.
Because I feel like I've seen some stuff on the studio lot.
They definitely,
so it must be Warner Brothers property.
Or are able to access it pretty easily.
But yes, I suspect all of them were Warner Brothers property. And that was the only way they were getting away with, like...
Well, and also, a lot of them were super old. Mm-hmm. Like, they had the...
Jaws and King Kong.
The Swamp
Thing.
Mm-hmm. Which his little bit was funny. Was cute.
Or Creature. I always get Creature and Swamp Thing confused, because to me they look like... the Creature from the Black Lagoon and Swamp Thing look the same to me.
They do. Whatever it was. Yeah. Old 20s movie monsters.
Yeah.
It was really fun, and I'm glad that they did... because that was one of my favorite things in the original Lego movie.
Was seeing characters interact.
Yeah, the different worlds all coming together. And so for a while, I didn't think they were going to do that.
But me neither. I definitely didn't. Because they didn't show any of those in the trailers, did they? Any
Unless
other
I missed
IPs?
it? No.
Because I didn't see any different IPs. I had no idea that I didn't even know that, like, Superman was going to be in it.
I did know Superman was going to be it. Cause
I know that he mentioned Superman,
think the party bit of them having the Justice League party is in a trailer somewhere.
Oh, okay.
At least I've seen that before, and
they
maybe I dreamed it.
Maybe. You knew the whole time.
I did!
You're a psychic!
That's proving it now, so all of my Star Wars theories, I'm absolutely correct in every single one of them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But, I'm just going to talk about how embarrassing I am that I cried so many times just because I was excited with the things that were happening, and I was happy of the choices that they made.
Mm-hmm. Like Bat and Bruce's relationship. Bat and Robin's relationship was really cute.
Alfred and
really
Bruce's
sweet.
relationship was really good.
They had a nice little dance party.
The ending dance party thing, I cried pretty much during the whole thing. I don't know why. I was just like, I am happy. This is silly and goofy, and this is Batman to me.
It was such an unbelievably fun movie. I definitely recommend taking your family, your friends.
If you've got beans, take them.
I only spent $1 to go, but that's because I had a Fandango gift card.
I spent no money.
Let me rant about Fandango. I'm mad.
With your $2 convenience fee?
Because this ticket was like $14.50. That's expensive.
Yep.
And I have a $15 gift card. I'm thinking, sweet, easy. And then they're like, oh, by the way, we're gonna charge you $2
for the convenience of nothing.
I hate that convenience fee because I'm like, I'm making this easier on you. I don't have to interact with any human beings now. This was done on a computer.
That's the convenience charge, Courtney. Is that you didn't have to interact with anyone?
I know, but that's stupid for it costs more to me when you're doing less work. I shouldn't have to give you less money for you to do less work.
Yeah, but that's the movie theater, it's not Fandango.
No. Well, no, that's the movie. That's the Fandango.
Well, no, I mean, like, the convenience was AMC's convenience, that they didn't have to do it. Fandango gave you
automated. They already made the website. It's paid for. Like, I get why they do it. It's just so stupid to me.
It's why convenience stores charge higher prices for products that you can get other places. It's a convenience fee. It's why, like, milk costs more at CVS than it does at Ralph's, because it's convenient that you can get it all at one spot.
Dumb.
Yep.
It's dumb.
It's literally called a convenience charge. Happens all the time, and
especially when they're like using a gift card. I'm like, well, I have to use this, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's no offense to your family, but they shouldn't have gave you a Fandango gift card. They should have given you an AMC gift card.
Oh, to be fair, they didn't give that to me. They got it in a raffle. So
oh, okay.
This wasn't no harm, no foul. No one in my family spent money on that. But
yeah,
$2 convenience fees. That's what half this podcast is about. That I'm really bitter.
That you had to pay $1.50 to see a good movie, Courtney.
It was a really good movie.
It was a good movie, and they did good things, and I liked it. And it's such a good kids movie. Because I'm so sick of, like, okay, I've talked about this a million times. DC movies, they're always too dark. Batman, it does work for. My biggest complaint with the other movies is that they always try to make a Superman movie like a Batman movie. Don't make everything dark. But also, don't make every Batman movie dark.
Well, I mean, I understand why people like the Dark Knight trilogy. I just don't like it because
I love them, but that's one side of Batman.
To me, they're boring. Like, superhero movies, if they take themselves too seriously, are boring. And also, I don't like action movies. Mm-hmm. Like, if it's just an action movie, I won't like it. I'm not going to be attached to any one of their storylines. Like,
I completely agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I definitely prefer all the Marvel movies over the Dark Knight trilogy. I think that they're a good story of that version of Batman. That's not my Batman, though, because, again, there's still a human in there. The Batman's here, Bruce is here. Like, if you never show Bruce Wayne in a Batman story, you're only telling half the story.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a Robin in the story, I'm sorry, you're only telling half the story. You're missing the human version of Batman.
Had Robin in the It's like, why didn't you tell them your real name? Robin. God damn. I'm like, or you can be a little more subtle and just be like, why didn't you tell them your real name, Richard?
Yeah.
Like, that's all you had to do.
Yeah, well, you can't go and name one of them. You can't name one of them after actual canon characters, even though he was a police officer, and that makes sense, because Officer Grayson! But they would have been like, well, he got Richard when he was a kid, and blah, blah, blah. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'll always be bitter about that, too.
No, I'm also more attached to the the Bat family as a whole, so if it's just Batman on his own, or, like, not developing his little, like, weird orphan kids family, I don't really care.
His collective little nest.
Like, the reason I like Batman is mostly because it's just headcanon. It's not even real canon, but just being able to, like, Lego Batman. They make fun of themselves, and their relationships are so funny with their personalities and how they would interact. And again, you don't get to see a lot of that in canon, but they're such good characters.
You don't get to see a lot of that in canon movies, but, like, an issue of Batman that I just bought, it takes place where Bruce gathers up all the Robins, and where does he take them? He takes them to a Batman-themed fast food restaurant. I can't remember the name of it, and then they get Bat Happy Meals, and Damian's sitting there, and he's like, if I get a Red Hood toy, I'm gonna be pissed. And he opens it up, and he gets a Red Hood toy, and he's like, I'm furious! And Jason, like, takes, Damian and, like, gives him a nuggie, and Damian's shoving his burger in Jason's face, and I'm like, this is perfect.
This is all that I want!
This is canon, this is stuff that happens. Bruce picked a Happy Meal, like, took them to a Burger King, essentially. Like, they're goofy.
Now I really want, like, McDonald's.
I mean, I really want to go to Hamburger after this, so, hey guys, we're making plans right here, but these things happen in canon, they just never bring them into, like, the mainstream, and I'm like, I don't understand why. I don't understand. Do you not understand that most people have senses of humor? We want to see this comedy.
Especially with, like, this goofy family, and with characters like Damian who are just little brats. Like,
and also, your main hero is a hero that dresses up in a bat suit. That's inherently cheesy and funny. He calls himself the Batman.
It's very silly.
It's silly.
So I like that this movie finally got to come out, and in a way that people,
that it's accessible for everybody.
Exactly.
It's super accessible for kids and families, and why do you think Bat Dad Blake is so popular? Shout out to Bat Dad Blake. Hilarious. It's just a dude running around with his kid in a Batman mask. Like,
is he the Vine guy who just shows that? Yeah.
Yep. Where he's like, and his little beans, and I'm like, sometimes he dresses them up as Robin, or sometimes he'll dress his brother up as Robin, and it's funny, and that stuff is cute.
It's very cute.
I could rant forever about how I want more things to be like Lego Batman.
I wonder if they're going to make any more Lego franchise movies. We were talking about how we want Lego Star Wars, but we know that's probably not going to happen.
It'll never happen. I don't think Disney will let it, but it would be so good.
And there is, like, the Lego Freemaker show, but they take themselves a little too seriously. I won't say Lego Freemaker takes themselves, like, not a serious show, but I would have loved for it to be more cracky than it is. But I mean, it's a cute series. Well, I'll catch up. Maybe we'll do a podcast about it one day.
Maybe.
But I'll just make an effort.
I want a Lego Batman 2 already.
I think I honestly I won't guarantee that's going to happen, but I'm pretty sure it's doing really well. So.
I mean, because it's a genius move, because it's what people have been craving for so long. A Batman movie that doesn't take itself seriously.
And, done in the perfect way, so people aren't going to complain. Like, it's not live action, so people aren't going to...
I don't like that actor, I don't like that... Because, like, there are plenty of things in there that contradict canon. Absolutely. There are especially with Dick. There are so many things that I could rant about. Dick is a whole
new character.
I could completely rant about that forever. At least they kept in things like he was an acrobat, stuff like that. He talks about it all the time. But I'm not going to complain about it forever because it's going to make people think that I don't like it. Because I do like that version of Robin. I thought he was really cute. Do I wish they had just kept him pretty much the same? Yeah, because they didn't change much about Bruce's backstory still. I mean, so why did they change so much about Dick? But I digress. They couldn't
There's a lot of people who don't know those backstories at all, so I think they just made it
have that
easier
version
to understand
of Batman adopt Robin in any other way, because that version of Batman is so selfish and, like, self-centered, and that's the point of the movie, is him learning not to be that. They couldn't have him, like, be at the circus, watch a boy get orphaned, and then be like, oh, I'm gonna adopt this kid out of the goodness of my heart. They couldn't really do that.
No,
so.
I guess not, because they had a few, community, studio executive jokes in
They
there.
did.
Is that they had to make sure all the guns were set to stun, and they're like, non-lethal!
Non-lethal!
And in the beginning, they're like, oh man, a dark, ominous screen that makes studio executives nervous.
And parents nervous.
Which some, like,
So
for me,
funny.
like, and who's worked in TV, who knows
How true that is.
how true that is with studio executives is kind of hilarious. But, yeah, is there anything else you want to add? Short podcast today, just because it was just a fun review. We both loved the movie. I give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, a 9.5 maybe, because I don't like the Barbara Bruce thing.
I'll give it a 9.5, just because there are, like, little things that I'm like, well, these are things that you've done in, like, Dick Grayson's love for Superman.
Mm-hmm.
You do that they do that in the first Lego Batman game, and it's so perfect.
Yeah.
Because it's always Bruce being, like, really subtly jealous that Dick wants to hang out with Superman all the time, and he's like, we don't need that guy. We don't need that guy. I'm your hero. And he's like, but Superman, he's so cool, and like stuff like that's fun.
Yeah.
So, and I super didn't like two things. My two actual complaints. I didn't like Catwoman. I don't like how they portrayed Catwoman, and I don't like how they portrayed Poison Ivy.
I wish we had a little more Gotham City siren moments.
Just because they, like, reduced Ivy to having vines and kissing people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it. We were definitely, like, narrowing in on their quirks.
Especially because they were in it for such a small
for such
period
a
of time.
super small amount of time. And Catwoman just was lazily cheesy. They were just like, oh, she's a cat. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Maybe in 2. There.
Maybe in
Gotham
2.
City Sirens come in. They're more prominent characters. I'm into it.
I mean, I'd be into it, but they're not going to do it because that version of Joker is well done, so they'll probably keep Joker in it.
Well, Joker would probably still be in it, but he could be, like, running the Gotham City Siren show.
No. I'd be mad.
Harley would listen to him if he, like, sent them on, like,
But the whole reason that
missions.
the Gotham City Sirens work so well is because it's when Harley's like, forget you, Joker, you don't care
I guess
anything
that's
about
true.
me, and I'm done. And Ivy's like, finally, Harley, you're gonna stop being a doormat, and then it all goes to shit later because Joker's like, I love you, Harley, and she's like, oh, I believe you, and I'm gonna shit on my two friends that I've been...
Well, in this version, Joker and Harley seem to be fine. They have a fine relationship.
I mean, kind of. It's mostly just Joker doing his own thing.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any part that was, like, romantic about their relationship besides, like, them just calling each other pet names. It was just like, hey,
which is
Snoopy.
fine.
Yeah.
Which was like Boo Boo, and it was definitely, like, Joker still using Harley, but at least it wasn't in a overtly damaging way.
Yeah, it wasn't part of the plot at all. It was
Yeah.
just, like...
He was just treating her like a sidekick, which is fine.
That's exactly
That's what she is. He wasn't, like, damaging her, and he wasn't putting her down, so
No.
I'm fine with it.
Definitely. Anyway,
Lego Batman 2. Do you want it? What do you guys want to see in Lego Batman 2?
Yeah.
Did you like Lego Batman 1? I heard a few people who didn't like it.
Interesting. I'd be curious to know why you guys didn't like it in the comments below. Because I had a really good time. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it a lot. Immensely. I am going to buy it for sure once it comes out. I want 1,000 of those Legos. I love Commissioner Gordon just blindly pushing the Batman button.
He's like, I can do it!
He's like, I got it! Here I go! So cute.
Nailed it.
All
It's
right.
perfect. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to this short episode of Who Talks First. I'm gonna go edit the video for today, Wednesday, the day we're recording this.
How exciting.
It is. Be prepared. Or you're already prepared because it's already up. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for listening. I'm CT.
And I'm Solo.
And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Signing out. Hack into the system, Courtney.
Woo.
You did it.